One of the things that we pride ourselves on at Marketing Messages is finding unique and innovative new uses of voiceover. Now, most of you know us as the folks that provide recordings and translations for call center applications and on-hold messaging, but in fact, we do a lot more than that. One example I'd like to talk about today is the work that we've done with a hearing aid company that we started working with about 7 years ago. Think about somebody who's using a hearing aid. They'll walk into a number of different environments. They might walk into an auditorium, into a bathroom, into a bar. All of those environments have different acoustic characteristics. So the special sauce of this technology is to actually match the acoustics of the environment they're in with what the actual user hears. And our job is to enable the user to cycle through different kinds of environments using a knob on the side of the hearing aid. And what will happen when that knob is turned is the user will hear very short phrases, 1 or 2 words that denote the environment that they're in. So when the user walks into an auditorium, they just turn the knob until they hear the word auditorium. And then when they walk out and walk into a dining room, they turn the same knob until they hear dining room. Now, here's where we come in. This particular company is a global company. So the challenge that was presented to us was to actually make these recordings in 34 different languages, both male and female. So there are a number of challenges that we faced. The first one is really just to make sure that we could find all the voice talents for all of the languages. And there are certain countries where it's very, very hard to find voice talents, particularly on the male side. And one example of that would be Norwegian male. If you talk to any Norwegian female, they'll tell you, at least they told me, that it's very hard to find a Norwegian male that actually speaks. The second challenge we had was translation. So for each of these words, we had to make sure that it was matched appropriately to each country. So think about a drinking establishment. In one country, it might be referred to as a bar. And in another country, it might be referred to as a pub. And on top of that, in certain languages, a single word could be actually spoken differently, whether it was gendered male or female. So it's kind of a language convention thing that we had to navigate through. And probably the most difficult challenge that we faced was a technical requirement that said that we couldn't go over 1.3 seconds for each of these phrases. So that caused us to have to go back and iterate through a number of different translations to make sure we had the right word that was short enough. So we made it quite easy for the customer. Because if you really think about it, if you tried to do this yourself, you'd have to go out and find 68 different voice talents that all have to record with similar kinds of equipment with the same acoustic characteristics. So we really made it consistent across the board for all languages. We also provided consulting help on all these alternate words. We used our translation expertise to make sure that we could get the right words at the right length. This one was a lot of fun. Do you have a unique application for voiceover? I'm betting we can help. Just give us a call and we'll see what we can do.